Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Cut to the Chase Sports Podcast. We bring unique insight and analysis behind your favorite teams at the collegiate and professional levels. I'm your host, Chase Yance. I got the panel right here. Matt's over to my right. What's up, Matt?
What's up, boys? Favorite episode of the week. Had a rough week last week on the old picks, but we're back.
Damn right about that.
We're ready to rock and roll. We're going to turn it into burn. The Buckeyes got a nice game coming up on Saturday night. I'm going to probably drink a lot of beer for it when I get off, so I'm ready. Here we go.
I'll witness that first person. So
I think I will be too. I'm not going to the game, but yeah, there we go. Brady, bottom, what's up?
Oh, not too much. Just again, like I said yesterday, long Wednesday. But work the hard part of the day is over, and now we just get to sit back, relax, talk about some college football predictions and this week in general. So ready for that for sure.
Most definitely.
Wow.
Love doing this. We, the majority of you guys will be seeing this tomorrow at noon on Thursday. So I maybe eat some lunch, watch some Cut to the Chase. That sounds all great and dandy. So
hey, but we got a VIP tonight. We got a VIP.
Oh, we do. Yeah. I don't know if we're gonna reveal that
right now. And you guys
yes. You guys just are not. He is getting first class right here. All right. First class watching this.
Subscribe. Subscribe to the channel or get backstage backstage passes.
We'll pick one person a week. We're gonna pick one person a week to do this one. Yes.
Let's have a Patreon. A Patreon where you get Max picks. You don't only the Patreon gets Matt's picks though.
You get Matt's picks exclusive.
You get to be in a group chat with us, and you know how like Zach Smith, he breaks down film and stuff. I'll break down the film for you.
Yes, he's got you on the film. I tell you, there would be a lot of activity in a group chat like that, nonetheless. For sure. But we're going to get right into this and talk about some of the top college football games coming up in week 3, starting with number 6 Oklahoma taking on Nebraska. Scott Frostless Nebraska. It ain't too cold over there right now. They're celebrating. He's out of there. Saturday at noon, big noon kickoff on Fox. What are you guys looking at in this game to start off the day?
I'm looking forward to watching Nebraska get fucking railed again. You know what I'm saying? Actually, to be honest, the spread is really low in this game, honestly. It's at like 11 right now. I think it should be pushing 20 here, probably. But I think Oklahoma rolls. I think Nebraska's in shambles. I just don't think that in 1 week with a new interim coach that their defense just gave up 45 to Georgia Southern. Georgia fucking Southern gave up 45. Imagine what Dylan Gabriel and Marvin Mims are going to do to him. You know what I'm saying? So I think Oklahoma rolls. Hazelwood, too, plays for him, doesn't he? Is that correct?
He transferred to Arkansas, I believe.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So Theo Weiss, I think.
Theo Weiss, Marvin Mims. Yeah, those guys. So Dylan Gabriel and Oklahoma are going to roll for sure. That's basically my prediction.
Yep. Well, and we'll save the picks.
We'll save the actual score and all, but nobody's shocked there.
No one at all.
However, this game, it intrigues me a little bit because last year this was such a good game. The craziest pick of the year by that Oklahoma DB.
It was insane.
That was nuts, and but I do think this isn't quite the game it was last year. Not that Nebraska was like some juggernaut, but they honestly could have beaten almost every team they played. And they almost won this game. However, I mean, Dylan Gabriel and the Oklahoma offense have looked good so far. I believe Marvin Mims was in both me and Matt's top 10 receiver list. And he's a very sure-handed, strong-handed type of receiver that'll go up, and his hands, to me, are the best part of his game. And I also think Theo Weiss, I think they have a tight end named like Braden Willis, and all that type of stuff. So Oklahoma is looking good so far, but Brent Venables has gotten them looking right. Nebraska, Casey Thompson, new quarterback, transferred from Texas. He is a very average quarterback to me, but at times he has me tricked into believing he's good. So maybe he'll start doing that on Saturday against Oklahoma. So I think this has a chance to be a good game. It's not a for sure blowout, but you never know. This could be a good one.
Definitely.
I think underrated. These two programs are historic, is all I'm saying.
Yep. You talk about Marvin Mims. He's had 10 catches for 244 yards and 2 touchdowns this the first 2 weeks of the season. And then also Casey Thompson, 62 and 97, 866, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. They have played 3 games and they're 1-2. And it's not looking too good for Nebraska right now. Obviously got rid of Scott Frost. So we'll see what it looks like for them. Oklahoma at 6. How do you feel about that right now? Them being ranked at 6.
I don't mind it personally. I think in terms of like the rankings right now, I think 6 is fine. Now, do I want them to play some good teams before they get, into that playoff conversation officially? I do. But for the AP poll, I think 6 is a fair ranking for them personally.
Okay. Matt, what are your thoughts?
I think it's probably pretty good. I mean, Notre Dame losing, obviously they're going to draw. I think it's probably about right. I think they got the AP poll right this week for the first time, maybe all year, because finally Bama dropped like they should have. You know what I mean? So I don't have too many gripes with it. I mean, 6, 7, 8, they're in that range for sure.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about this before. The AP poll, it honestly don't mean a whole lot of shit right now. It's just it's once we get to late October, early November when the committee comes out with their stuff. The committee basically of ESPN. That's a bunch of ESPN people are on that committee, which is why we're segueing to the next game with number 1 Georgia and South Carolina, Saturday at noon on ESPN. Wink, wink. I don't know. I can't wink. It might be a Matt's pick. I have no idea.
It could be.
It could be. I have no idea what's going to happen, but I will let Brady kind of take this one away and see what his thoughts are, try to pick his mind on this game.
All right. So, this is a, SEC East showdown between Spencer Rattler versus that Georgia defense. Georgia, fun fact. So Georgia's defense obviously lost a lot from last year. They lost a good amount. They also regained some solid key pieces as well. They're the only team in the country, FBS, to yet to have given up a TD. So Spencer Rattler is going to have to bring his A game and be hitting his top targets, which are Jaheim Bell, Austin Stogner, and his other weapons out there. That he needs to connect with them on some on some deep passes, and there it is. You ain't scoring on Georgia. It's just kind of how it is. I mean, nobody has scored a touchdown on Georgia this year, so even Oregon couldn't get in that end zone. So and they
Oregon
had
shit.
Yeah, I mean. The best quarterback in the country, Bo Nix, was playing QB, and they couldn't get in the end zone. So, and then Georgia. To speak on Georgia, I do believe they for sure right now deserve that one spot in the AP poll. Not that it matters, but I would say they're deserving. Coming off a national title, beating a ranked team by 46, and not allowing a touchdown. I mean, that's very fair for number 1 quarterback Stetson Bennett. Very, very. I'd say he's an above-average quarterback, personally, actually, to this point in his career. He's looking like a veteran guy, making the throws he needs to. And then their tight end room, we've talked about it, ridiculous. Brock Bowers, Darnell Washington, Eric Gilbert, all those guys. And Ladd McConkey and all those guys. A.D. Mitchell, I think is his name on the outside. And then their O-line looks solid, too, as well as they have a really nice running back room down there, too. So yeah, I really like this game. The key right here is definitely South Carolina's offense. Will it be able to move the ball in Georgia? And obviously, I think South Carolina has a good DB room, so I think they could slow down Georgia's offense maybe a little bit. But we'll see what happens here.
All right, Matt, what are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I think this is one of the more underrated games of the weekend. I think it ends up being a fairly good game. South Carolina beat Georgia a couple years ago with Kirby Smart there. Now, obviously, it's completely different teams, but just in the past, they have struggled with South Carolina. Now, also, South Carolina has never scored over 20 points against Kirby Smart defense when he's been at Georgia. So I'm expecting more of a lower scoring game here. So, like Brady said, the defensive backs for South Carolina, they have a really good DB room. And then offensively, with Spencer Rattler, I love the Cox on the offense. I really do. I think they're going to be able to move the ball a little bit, score just enough points to keep it close. Okay. But I'm excited to watch this game. I think it's going to be a good game. But, I mean, Georgia obviously is just extremely, just like talent-wise, it's just extremely, like, lopsided. You know what I mean? Like, there's no this, that, or the other. But I think just the struggles that Georgia's had against South Carolina in the past leads. I'm excited to watch the game for sure.
Well, Georgia's defense obviously very good. The offense hasn't looked too bad. Let's see if the Cox defense can cock block them. So we'll see what goes on with that. But on to the next game, Penn State Auburn, 3:30 CBS. You got Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson on this call. Kind of weird seeing a Big Ten team being on CBS, but we're going to see a lot of it in the future. So get used to that. Matt, I'll throw it to you.
I'm excited for this one, man. I'll tell you what. This might be the game I'm most excited for other than the Buckeye game. Just because Penn State on the road and Auburn, I think, sucks. But being on the road in a hostile environment, I kind of want to see how good Penn State really is.
Yep.
So, and how can Sean Clifford, stay healthy and try to be more consistent of a player? I mean, he sucked against Purdue at times. There's times where he makes decent throws. I think it should be Drew Allar starting anyways, but it's Sean Clifford. So the receivers are dynamic. They have two very, very highly recruited young running backs that have been playing really well too. So I'm looking forward to watching this game for sure. See if the Big Ten East, also we talked about the Big Ten East last night with the Big Ten East and the SEC West. Who's the better division? Well, we got a head-to-head matchup here. So I'm excited for this one too.
There you go. And you look at the two receivers that Penn State, they really pride themselves on, Mitchell Tinsley and Parker Washington, who I believe Brady had in his top 10 receivers list early, in the preseason. So Brady, what's your take on this team?
So, man, like Matt stated, this might be my favorite game of the week outside of Ohio State because obviously, watching.
This is also the banner behind us too. It's got Penn State Auburn from last year, actually.
Which did not disappoint. That was a great game.
Definitely.
And Penn State beat Auburn by worse than Alabama is all I'm saying. So that means we would have beat Alabama. I'm just playing.
We're doing rational shit like that. But okay.
You got to look into things like that. But
for sure.
But Penn State, Auburn, you hear these two teams and you're just immediately excited, man. Like Penn State, undefeated so far, haven't looked bad, haven't looked playoff caliber, but we'll see what they can do against a very talented Auburn team who recruits very well on the road at Auburn in a should be a hostile environment. Sean Clifford, man, we'll see, man. This is going to be a tough test because Auburn typically has a good secondary, so we'll see if he can throw the ball to Parker Washington, who I did have on my preseason top 10 receiver list. Mitchell Tinsley, who's another good receiver out there. 13, I forget his name, but he can't catch. And then they got Nicholas Singleton, 5-star freshman running back, really explosive. Really wish the Buckeyes would have got him. Not even gonna lie, we were in the running for him for a while there. Trey Henderson probably scared him away a little bit, which is the downside of stuff of having a really good year from a freshman. But man, I mean, Penn State, Auburn, going to be a big one. But I will say this. I do have to mention this. Auburn's quarterback, TJ Finley.
He's had a fucking terrible start to the year.
He's awful. I mean, it's not even surprising that he's had a terrible start. Like, I'm right with you there. Like, I don't know how. I mean, it honestly is hilarious that Alabama almost let this team beat them last year because they sucked. Like, this team without Bo Nix, and I know Bo Nix sucks, but he's a million times better than TJ Finley. Like, TJ Finley started against Alabama and brought them to overtime, and they should have won. Like, TJ Finley is terrible.
One touchdown to 3 picks to start the season.
And they played against two terrible teams. Like, Finley is just bad, and I'm ready to see what this Penn State secondary and Penn State defense can do to make him look, can they expose him, or will he finally find his rhythm against Penn State? And I think that's going to be the key to the game. Like I could. This is going to be a good game for sure. That's all I'm saying. It won't be a blowout either way.
Yep, that's not going to disappoint. The music's not going to disappoint before we get onto that game and everything. But really can't wait for that one at 3:30, and then another 3:30 game, which will be seen on Fox. Number 12 BYU, who just was in a 2 overtime thriller and had Matt just jumping for joy after he just kept taking an L and an L and an L. But at 2:30 in the morning, 2:30.
Hey,
I hope I don't stay up that late this week.
And I'm not trying to rat on you. We're just calling it how it is. But hey, you're gonna get.
Yeah, I was really drunk that night. That's all I know.
We know.
Anyway, so this game right here, I couldn't give 20 shits about, if I'm being honest with you. But we're going to talk about it anyways, okay? This game right here, I mean, Bo Nix sucks. BYU, they did have a big win.
He's better than TJ Finley.
BYU did have a big win last night. If BYU wins this game, you might end up seeing them in that New Year's Six hunt for a non-Power 5 team, okay? Yep. So keep an eye on that. So that part could be just like a bigger, season-long goal. But in terms of having this game this weekend, I mean, it's only at 3:30. It's not one of those Pac-12 after dark games like last week was.
Yeah.
We're watching it at kickoffs at 10:30 or 10:15. 3:30, this is not going to be catching my eye at all. I could not – I it's college football. I'd watch it, but it's just not appealing to me, to be honest with you.
Especially with CBS as the competitor having a Big Ten team playing and a team like Auburn.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
We have the entire thing,
the 3:30 time slot is already taken up for me. Penn State Auburn.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, people make that assumption literally a week or two in advance. That's just what it is. Like, I would gravitate, obviously, unless it's Ohio State or a big time Big Ten game playing, I would normally gravitate to a CBS game at 3:30. It's just how I am. Okay. If it's a good CBS game, that's how I gravitate. But yeah, Brady, do you have any thoughts on this game that Matt obviously does not give a fuck about?
I mean, I guess I'll give a couple more, maybe a thought more than he did, but I'm honestly with him in the fact that this game is.
Would you give 18 shits instead of 20?
I'd have to think about it, honestly. Like right now, this game, I mean, like you said, we're not going to be watching. We're going to be watching Penn State, Auburn for sure. But I'm probably not going to watch it. But 12-25, it's still a decent matchup. Oregon sucks. They showed it against Georgia.
Yep.
I would take I would probably later I would probably pick BYU. I haven't even decided yet, so I'm not really giving a spoiler because I might switch it. But BYU quarterback Jaren Hall seems a solid QB. Defense looked pretty solid. They looked solid on both sides of the ball against Baylor. Even after that game, I didn't really think, wow, this BYU team is good or wow, this BYU team is average. I just kind of thought, I don't know. I didn't know what to think. So, I'm ready to see Bo Nix go at it again. See what goes on.
Yep, that's BYU and Oregon, the game that people give 18 to 20 shits about. So Toledo, Ohio State's the next game on Fox, a game that we will actually be taking part in watching. I've been told by a lot of outside people
personally.
What?
Go ahead, Chase.
What?
Matt will speak after you give the.
I don't know what Matt. No, it's all right. It's all right. What you got to say? What you got to say? You're okay. All right. But yeah.
I'm lagging around here.
All right.
So I personally, I give a lot of shits about this game. Okay. I'm excited. Toledo is actually not a bad team. Okay. This game could end up being really good for a half that I think the Buckeyes pull away here. Okay. Spread's big. But like I said, Toledo statistically, top four defense in total yards allowed in America. Okay. So I think it's something that could be, your offense, the Buckeyes come out a little bit shaky at first, trying to get their feet wet, things like that. So I think it could be close for the first half, but then I think the Buckeyes pull away later. Yeah. But I'm excited for it, obviously. That's just kind of my preview of it. I think Toledo has some pretty good athletes on both sides of the ball. They won the MAC last year. They almost beat Notre Dame last year. So I don't think this is a slouch. Like, we can't take them, for granted. It's not like they're better than Rutgers. Okay, so if they play Rutgers, they're going to win. So that's kind of my preview for it. Brady, what about you?
I'm with you, man. I think you see the word Toledo and you just think, I mean, my God, like these are the Northern Ohio boys that just could not even come close to making it at Ohio State or even a Big Ten school. So you think this is going to be an absolute blowout, which, to be honest with you, I'm really hoping it is. I'm hoping that we play we're ready for them. I hope our players realize, and I think they do, hope our players realize that this Toledo team is on the level of a Big Ten, like a lower level Big Ten team, maybe even inches towards the middle of the pack. This team is a good team. They kill their competition that's on par with them, and this is the best team in the MAC. So we're gonna have to come out there ready to go. And I really hope we get Jackson Smith and Jibbo and Julian Fleming in this game. If they're 100%, they need to play. Like I don't think you need to save Jackson for Wisconsin. You want to give him some reps in this game, ensure the win, ensure you got your best players on the field, and hopefully we can get out. Hopefully we put this thing away by halftime. That's my hope. So I'm ready to see what CJ Stroud can do against this. They have a really fast DB unit. They allow like 57 passing yards per game or something like that. It's actually pretty crazy. Like, they have not been thrown on. And then former Ohio State linebacker Dallas Gant is their leading tackler this year. And
I did see that. Yeah.
Yep. He had nothing but good things to say about Ohio State, though, which I liked. And Ryan Day said the same about him. So this is a respect type of thing.
That's good.
Yeah. And for sure. And then Toledo's quarterback, actually, his name is, I think, something Flynn. His last name's Flynn. If Chase might be checking.
We'll get a look on that. Yeah, keep going.
All right, but Flynn, he's a fast QB. If he really needs to scramble, he can do it. But he's a pass-first quarterback. Like Jim Knowles even stated today in a press conference, they don't design run plays for him. Toledo doesn't. So this is a guy that they're gonna let drop back and try and throw it with them. They really trust this guy. He could certainly end up being MAC Offensive Player of the Year this year. So, we're going to have to be firing on all cylinders defensively, and I really hope we can, just like last week, we're going to have to keep them out of the end zone this week. So, while this may not be like a college football top marquee matchup, like this isn't Alabama playing Louisiana Monroe or Michigan playing
UConn of all people.
I mean, that might be the three worst teams in the FBS. Honestly, they put teams that UConn's lost to worse than them on that list. Like, I think UConn was still on that list. None of the teams we played non-conference were on this list.
Yep.
But I mean, this isn't like, I'm just trying to really state that while Toledo isn't like some juggernaut, it also isn't some complete slouch. So like, this is a Big Ten level game if we're playing like a lower to middle level team. So I'm definitely excited for it. Night game on Fox, and ready to get to it.
That's Daquan Finn's the guy you're talking about.
Finn. That's what it was, not Flynn.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He's a good.
Come
QB.
on, Brady. It's Finn. It's Finn. Yeah.
That's my bad. I apologize. I really don't like.
He apologized. No one was mad at him. 3 touchdowns to 1 pick, 3 rushing touchdowns for Daquan Finn, not Flynn, but Finn. He's looked like he's had a good year. So we'll see what goes on with him Saturday night at 7:00. I will say before we move on to our to the next game, look at the history between Ohio State and Toledo. September 12th of 1998, Ohio State beat them in Columbus 49-0. And I still remember this game on September 19th, 2009, when the game was played in Cleveland, Ohio, and Ohio State went up there and beat them 38-0. And then on September the 10th of 2011, Ohio State played Toledo in Columbus. It was, I believe, Joe Bowserman of all people was the starting quarterback at the time, and we only beat Toledo 27-22. That was the year where Luke Fickell had to take over as head coach and all, and that was the last time we played Toledo. Is Toledo going to have some type of fire coming out in this game? You bet believe they will. They're playing at the Shoe, a night game. They're going to try to come out and they're going to try to steal one from us. But, like I said, Ohio State, they got to have 10 toes down. They can't take it lightly or anything like that. But
I have one thing to say.
Okay.
One more thing, and it's just crossed my mind. Yeah. Matt, who you want to step on that field first? Julian Fleming or X?
I mean, X is a good player, man. X is a good player, no doubt. But I think Julian Fleming, I'm starting to get really frustrated with his ass. All right, I really am. I'm starting to get really frustrated. He needs to just step on the field. I know he's messed up his fucking shoulder, but I need to see him on the field. Okay, I just want to see him perform. Okay, we need some depth. So I've already seen X this year, so I guess to answer your question, I'll say Julia. That's who I want to see on the field.
Fair enough. And
all right.
Does he score a touchdown? Let's just hear that.
I'm going to say no because I don't know if he's going to play or not.
Okay, gotcha.
If he plays, does he score?
If he plays.
Does Jackson play too, or does Jackson not play?
Yes, they both.
Okay,
play.
They both play. Yes,
he does. He will not score.
Okay.
We'll hold you to that. At the 27:08 mark of the show, we'll hold you to that. All right. Last game we're really going to talk about before we get into picks. Number 11, Michigan State's going to Washington. They're going up to the Northwest. They're playing a Saturday night game, 7:30 p.m. on ABC. I mean, we've talked about this a little bit yesterday on, we didn't really preview it, but we kind of glanced over it. What are your thoughts on this, Brady?
Oh, man, I'm excited to, start this one off because I do think this is a really, really interesting game. The fact that it's at Washington really intrigues me. And, they got quarterback Michael Penix Jr. from Indiana who really can sling it sometimes. Like, he'll go on spurts where he's just throwing for 300, 400 yards and just slinging it down the field. He's a dangerous weapon. He's an exciting player. And Michigan State quarterback Peyton Thorne has looked very solid this year. Wide receiver Jaden Reed, he might have been on my top 10 receiver list.
I'm not too sure.
Maybe an honorable mention. I can't remember. He would have been probably lower on it, but still, one of the best receivers in the league in the Big Ten. So I'm excited to see this game and see. We'll see how Michigan State's DB unit is this year, because last year, like we know, Ohio State lined up and saw a weakness and absolutely destroyed it. So we'll see if Washington can throw it on them this week, and we'll see what we can take out of this game. And this is another big one for the Big Ten East as well.
All right, Matt, thoughts?
Big Ten East. It's another one of these games like we were talking about with Penn State too. I mean, we're 14-0 between those 7 teams right now. It's huge for the division. The spread's 3.5. Last time I looked, Michigan State is underdog in this game. Washington is favored to win this game. Regardless of rankings, regardless of anything, Washington is favored. So we'll see. I think it's a weird line. It's a weird situation. I think it's going to be a good game. I think Michigan State probably pulls it out late. But like I said, I think it's going to be a good game, and I think how well this is probably this is their first legitimate opponent this year. So how well has Mel Tucker prepared his guys, and how well has the program started to build? Okay, they had a really good year last year. Okay, how's that going to transition to this year right now? So this is really their first big test at night. Washington gets loud. Their stadium gets very loud. So. We're not going to be watching it because the Buckeyes are playing, but, it'll be interesting.
Yep, definitely could see it. I mean, obviously when a team goes out west, I mean, there's some different things that go on, especially with Pac-12 teams and, Seattle, the city of Seattle, known for the 12th man. It was shown Monday night in the pro football game. See if it's shown Saturday night in the college football game. And I will say, I did say that, that game was going to be the last one we were talking about. I'm just kidding. Number 13, Miami, Florida. Number 24, Texas A&M. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit are on the call for this game. Texas A&M slipped up last week. They played App State, and they looked like fucking idiots. So Miami, Florida. Let's see. They're on the road. 2-0. I mean, man, this is a pretty interesting game that's going to slip through the cracks at 9:00 on ESPN. The floor is yours. What's the thoughts?
Okay, so based on location, most of these teams should be in the top 10. However, Texas A&M, it is absolute blasphemy that they have a number.
Stephen A. Smith word.
Yeah, blasphemy. I'll use, even though he's an idiot, I'll use his terminology. How are they ranked number 24? Like, there's no reason for them to be ranked right now. Unreal. Their offense sucks. Their defense sucks.
Tell me how you really feel.
They just suck. Like, that's like Miami. I haven't watched much, to be honest.
My dogs.
But Tyler Van. I would bet a lot that their offense and defense are both. I really like Tyler Van Dyke. He's a solid QB for Miami. And then their defense, they have Mario Cristobal, so I'm sure their defense is looking good so far this year, even though they haven't played the greatest of teams. So, Texas A&M, I mean, they have a lot of talent on that roster. They're probably in the top 10 talent-wise for this year. But, man, we'll see what they can do, man, because their talent isn't really showing so far.
Yep, talent not showing. Matt, show us something. What do you think?
You want me to show you something?
Okay. Let's not say that, all right? Because who knows what's gonna happen there. You already talked. Never mind. I'm not even gonna.
This is a good game though. Brady's right about Texas A&M. They should not be ranked.
I think it's great. The line's 5.5. I'll tell you that.
Very disappointed in Texas A&M's performance last week. I really like where Miami's going. I think Miami and Pittsburgh really have a chance to compete with Clemson for the ACC this year. So this game, obviously, I'm just not going to be on my full attention until the ending because they kick at 9. But after the Buckeyes are over, I'll be flipping over to this sucker right here. Okay, This is a good one right here.
Yeah.
Who knows? It could be a nice pick. You never know.
Who knows?
But I like how Mario Cristobal is kind of bringing back a physicality to Miami, to the U. It's all about the U, baby. It's all about the U. Here we go. Okay, so watch out. I'm excited for this game.
Yeah, this will definitely be a good one after Ohio State's done playing. Catch this one. I'd probably say catch this one over Michigan State, Washington, unless Michigan State is obviously, depending on how close to the game that is. But, previewed all these games. Let's get some picks going. Let's go right back up to the top. Oklahoma, Nebraska. I think we all know where this one's going. I mean, Nebraska without Frost, they're still ice cold. I got Oklahoma by like 30. I'm going to go Oklahoma like 30. I'm going to say 34-7.
Yeah, I also have Oklahoma. I think that offense overpowers Nebraska, and I think Nebraska. I'm going to go 45-10. Oklahoma. I'm hoping it's not that bad, and I hope that it can be more entertaining than that. But I'm going 45-10.
All right, Matt.
I'm going Sooners, 34-13. Okay, they don't score as many as Georgia Southern. So, but I'm going Oklahoma 34-13. They're going to cover that 11.5 or 11.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Cover, I agree.
Yep, clean sweep on Boomer Sooner out there in Lincoln. Georgia, South Carolina. I'm going to go with Georgia. I think they're number one for a reason. I don't think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be a blowout or as big of a blowout as people would expect. I'm going to go on ahead and say Georgia wins. I'll say 30-17. All right, 30-17. I think it'll be decent, but I think South Carolina will score something toward the end that makes it look a little bit closer. Matt, I think it's time to sound the alarm because it's a Matt's pick. I don't even know what the alarm is, but here we go. Tell us.
All right. South Carolina plus 24.5. It's a big number for Georgia. Like I brought up earlier when we did the preview earlier in the show, how Kirby has struggled against South Carolina with Georgia. South Carolina beat Georgia a couple years ago. Also, South Carolina hasn't scored a lot of points, though, against Georgia either. I like Georgia to win the game 30-10. Georgia wins 30-10, but that line's 24.5, right? So South Carolina covers the 24.5. Georgia wins 30-10.
All right, Brady, do they cover? Do you agree?
I disagree. I do not think they cover. I think the dogs are going to be barking, and I think they're going to be barking loud.
Ooh,
and I'm going to be going. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly.
That's not really a bark, yeah.
Yeah. We got a little bit of, our backstage guest, Jaden Davis, said woof, woof, woof. That's exactly how it's going to sound. 38-6. The dogs will not give up a touchdown yet again.
George is not letting you fucking score like the graphic said earlier. Okay.
I agree. I think they'll somebody's going to score on them here soon, but it's not going to be this week. 38-6. Dogs cover.
All right. There we go with that one. Now we'll go to the 3:30 game CBS, Penn State versus Auburn. I'm going to let Brady pick this one first, then myself, then we'll go to Matt. Brady, what are your thoughts on this?
So, like I said, excited for this game. Ultimately, I think Penn State wins this game. I think the Big Ten East, to this point of the day, will have stayed undefeated with Penn State knocking off Auburn. I think Sean Clifford has an okay game. I don't think he has one of his worst games. And I think they move the ball a little bit. I think they play some good defense. I'm going to take Penn State 24-21.
All right. This will be a 3:30 classic. Who knows? I'm going to rock with Penn State as well. I think they're going to win this game off a game-winning field goal, actually. I'm going to go with the score 24-23. I think Joey Porter's going to have a big day. Joey Porter Jr. is going to have a big day with 2 interceptions, I will say.
Yeah.
Matt.
I like that prediction.
Should we sound the alarm once again? Matt Ricketts, here we go. It is a Matt's pick.
Penn State -3. I like the Nittany Lions covering on the road, okay? Sean Clifford, I think, plays well enough. I think it's a defensive struggle for most of the game. I think the team that runs the ball better ends up winning. Nicholas Singletary, okay, or Singleton, 24-17. Penn State covers the spread, -3 on the road. Big Ten East stays undefeated. Lock it in.
Nice touchdown ball game. Lock it in, Matt says. Next game, BYU Oregon. The game Matt and everybody else in America except the West Coast could give 18 to 20 fucks about as we.
Maybe even 25. Fuck.
Damn, we're going that high.
Oregon's ranking.
Are we on them? Are we on them, Matt? Are we on it? Or no. Like, are we not on them?
I'm taking BYU 31-20.
Okay. Brady, what about you?
I'm gonna go with BYU as well, defeating the Oregon Ducks. I really don't know the spread on this game, so I don't know, if this is an upset or not. But I'm going BYU 31-26.
Oh, come on. 31-20, Brady. Come on, pick it.
You know what?
31-26.
I don't even care. I'm going to go like the completely different direction, and I'm going to say Oregon 13-10. I don't
There you go.
I'm just going to throw it out there. West Coast game, 3:30.
Take the Ducks. I'm perfectly okay with it.
I'll go with the Ducks. Bo Nix is going to play. He's going to play okay. But
he's going to put up – he's going to drive them with – he's going to lead them to a touchdown drive this game.
He's going to end up being shit. He's going to see Auburn playing halfway decent. He's going to be like, shit, I got to do something since I transferred from there. So
he's going to be checking his phone on the sidelines.
He'll be checking his phone, checking the Jumbotron, and it's going to be a game that basically 75% of the country doesn't really care about. So that's that game right there on Fox. They'll care about the next game on Fox, Toledo, Ohio State. Us Ohioans would. What's the pick here? I think we all know where we're going, but I would like to, like to hear it.
Go ahead, man.
I'm going back and forth on this sucker here. Okay.
The fuck?
Do they cover? No, not.
Okay. Yeah.
Spread's 32 right now.
Okay.
45-10 is a cover. 45-17, not a cover. it just makes me feel like, I don't know. I'm going to go 45-10. Buckeyes cover.
Okay. Brady. Does Ohio State
Yeah.
go?
Man, this is a tough one.
Exactly. It really is.
Ohio State wins. I'll say that.
They cover.
I'm really hoping they put up a lot of points this game. I really do.
I do.
I'm hoping
it's going to save me a lot of stress.
Screw it. 56.
Fuck it.
56. 56. 17 cover over Toledo. I'd be happy with that win right there, especially because Toledo's defenses look so good. If you put a 56 ball on them, they'll kind of crawl back into their hole. And I'm hoping Jackson Smith and Jibba plays this game and Julian Fleming, so we can have a really deep options out there. You can put 4 wide some plays and just toast them.
All right. And I will agree with you guys. The Buckeyes will cover 52-17 on Saturday night.
Wow.
35-point game, 5-touchdown ball game. And the ABC we go. Michigan State, Washington, the West Coast Wonders. Down low, Oregon. No one cares about them. Up top, Washington. More people care about them. Washington's actually favored by 3.5. I will say that. Something to keep an eye on. All right, what's the thoughts? What's the thought process, everybody, in this game?
I got a bad feeling about this game for the old Big Ten.
All right.
I got a bad feeling. I like Washington pulls her out 28-21. I just don't think I think Michigan State's overrated. I think they do return some decent. I mean, obviously Peyton Thorne. They do return some guys from last year. But like I talked about earlier in the preview, traveling on the road, it's a very hostile environment out there. Michael Penix has a fairly good game for the Huskies. I like Washington 28-21.
Well, if Mel Tucker was ever watching this podcast, Mel Tucker will want to beat your fucking ass. Brady, down here.
I think Matt. I think that's a very fair pick, Washington winning this game, but I'm actually not going to Washington.
Interesting.
To the side of Washington. I'm going on Michigan State side here. I think Michigan State wins this game. Not because they're going to play great defense. I think they play great offense this game. I think this is a decently high-scoring game. Michigan State covers the spread. Brady's pick. Boom, 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 boom. Let's get it.
That's an interesting sound, but okay.
I don't know what a siren sounds like on here.
Yeah, we'll have to
get a
get
siren or something. This is my pick.
Sound operations for that. Yeah.
Take Michigan State here.
I hope you're right, Brady. I really do. I'm rooting for Michigan State. I just don't think they're going to win.
I think they're going to win 37-35 in a 2-point game. A great game. It's going to be a great game to watch. Obviously.
Wow.
I agree with Mr. Jaden here in the private chat. He just said a statement. I won't share it out loud.
And if you want to have statements and influence part of the show during this time, I mean, we'll get something going. And if you guys want to be a VIP guest, just hit us up. We'll do a little contest here or there. We'll see what goes on with that. Because trust me, this is very, very interesting. Very, very interesting side conversations and everything else going on. I'm going to go with Washington as well. I'm going to agree with Matt. I'm going to go on ahead and say 27-21. I think Washington's going to come out and play. I think Michigan State's going to kind of, I think they're not going to really come to play at the start, and then it's going to become a game. But I think it's going to be too big of a deficit for Michigan State to come back out of. So that's my thought there. 27-21, Washington. And then this one, Miami, Texas, 9 p.m., ESPN. Oh, man. You know what? I'm going to go road team. I'm going to say Miami wins this. Mario Cristobal's back.
Woo!
The U is back. Not the real U.
It's all about the U. It's all about the U.
The seventh floor crew. That was a very, very explicit time frame of song that they made, including Greg Olson. But I think Miami's going to win this game. I'm going to go with a score of pulling one out of my ass, 31-27. Matt, sound the alarm once again. It is a Matt's pick. Here we go.
27-20. The U pulls it out. I like Miami plus 5.5 here. I think Texas A&M is floundering. Just they're all flustered. They're all fucked up. They're flip-flop. They're like a fish flopping on the fucking deck. They're all fucked up. They don't know what the fuck's going on. Yeah, they're flopping. So I think just their programs are shambles right now. Jimbo doesn't know what the fuck's going on. Okay. Offensively, it might be one of the worst offenses I've ever seen. I mean, seriously.
It's terrible.
Even worse than Iowa?
No.
I said one of.
I know, but I'm just okay.
Hey, their defense. Iowa's defense, I would take it over A&M's, but I would take A&M's offense, who also sucks.
Yeah. But A&M scored 17 against App State, who had just gave up over 60 the week before to North Carolina. Think about that. 17 to 60. And like I talked about earlier, I like the program that Mario Cristobal's building right now.
Yep.
I think he's trying to get the physical that down in Florida, Miami's able to recruit a lot of good athletes, get a lot of great athletes down in Florida, but the physicality you need in college football, obviously, to be elite. And I think he's coming from, I mean, hell, he was the coach of Oregon last year, and they torched the Buckeyes, just running down people's throats. That's what he wants to build. That's the type of coach he is. So I like the way he's kind of getting Miami going here. So I like Miami to cover this game. Okay?
Yep.
Matt's pick. Here we come.
All right. Matt's pick there. Brady's pick below. I don't know if it's pick, but yes, Brady, what's your selection on this?
My selection is also I'm taking Miami to win this game. I don't really know if they cover the spread. It'll be a good game, but we'll also come out of this game thinking
they got to cover the spread to win.
We're going to come out of this game thinking both of these teams aren't very good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
We're going to be like, wow, like Miami's going to need a couple years to get up to where like they could be with Cristobal, and Texas A&M just sucks. It's really going to be what people think after this game. So I'm going to go 24-21 Miami in a pretty good game. And you mentioned the athletes Miami's getting. I'm just going to mention the fact that we got 2 5-star receivers from Florida coming in the 2023 class. So thank them for that. Thank them for not being able to pull those guys in, and that we'll be able to continue this long line of receivers. And it's just awesome to see. So I'm going to say.
Yep. Long line of receivers coming there and a short line of picks because we have one more Matt's pick. And we alluded to the Iowa Hawkeyes for a second, but here we go.
I think if you ask me what my most confident pick was, I think it might be this one. Okay. Iowa, I was told by a friend earlier today that Iowa couldn't score 24 points against the Kitten Ridge defense. Yeah, I was told by a friend via text message. So I'm going to take his advice. Okay.
Jeez.
I don't think Iowa scores 24 points in this game. Therefore, I think Nevada covers. There's the pick.
Right. You're talking about Kenton Ridge?
Yes.
Hey, you're hurting. Wow. Hey, that better not be a joke because you're hurting our alumni your guys' alumni and my school right now.
Yeah.
Hey.
I mean, I'm talking about your guys' team, not mine.
I didn't fucking play, so I'm cool.
Yeah.
Cougar Pride, baby. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah.
So, like I said, I think Nevada. I think Iowa probably wins by like 10-ish, but I don't think they scored. Their offense is atrocious. They will not score 24 points. Take it, Nevada.
There you go. Take it down with that. Before we get out of here, one word to describe how you're feeling about college football Saturday this weekend. Matt, go.
Wow. I think I'm feeling excited. I'm excited this week because I think that's a bad word. Brady, you go first. Let me think.
All right.
Excited.
You got to think of another word. That's a terrible word.
Just pumped. I'm pumped up.
You're pumping it up. All right.
I'm pumping it up for this.
Pumping it up for this one.
Yeah.
Interested. That's what I am.
Okay.
I'm interested, kind of.
There's a lot of good games this week. Like
there's a lot of interesting games that like aren't really high ranked, but like you know what I mean. They could. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of talent.
Right. So I'm interested.
I'll say that I'm a bit captivated I think Penn State-Auburn. Penn State-Auburn, I think, really has my attention this weekend. On Saturday, at least, it has my attention. I'll be looking forward to watching that game, a good deal of it. Obviously, our Ohio State Buckeyes at 7. So I think those two games really have my interest overall. So, obviously, both the Big Ten games, CBS, Fox. So that's what I'm looking at. Another college pick showdown. You guys got any final thoughts before we get out of here?
I do not.
I do not. Ready for another weekend of football.
For sure. I mean, this is our last episode before the weekend. So you guys won't see us for a minute until Sunday morning at 11 o'clock, I believe.
Yeah.
You guys will be seeing this tomorrow, Thursday at like lunchtime. So
at noon, Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Gotta love it. The dogs are barking. Everybody's barking.
Dogs are barking. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah. Here we go. Chase Younts, Matt Ricketts, Brady King. We was in the cut. Now we out. We'll see ya.